Hello everyone, so today we will move to our first pull and fetch. Your official document is here. So what is fetch and pull? Fetch is nothing but we are checking if there are any changes in the remote repository. As I highlighted, it's checking, okay? We are not actually bringing in the changes when we say a fetch, okay? When we say a fetch, we are saying we are only checking. There is no real merging happening. Does anything download here? Yes, downloads of commits, files and references from the remote repository into your local repository. I know there are few of the contents out there which say no, nothing downloads. It's incorrect. I have checked the official link. There would be a download, and this is a screenshot from the official website. Git fetch, download object and references from another repository. Now, does that affect our work at local? Meaning, when if I'm continuing to work, will that affect anything? No, because Git isolates fetched content from the existing local content. It doesn't affect the local code, and the head position does not change. Okay, so if you're working on the branch, nothing will change. Your head position remains the same. Next, then, what is git pull then? So now we know it's git fetch is we are just checking what is in the remote repository. So what's git pull? Is nothing but the git fetch. Now we have checked, and once we are okay, we would like to merge, right? So instead of saying git fetch checking and then you're running a code to merge, you can just say git pull, and it would download the remote content and merge the local and the remote content all in a step. First we will get through some basic cases that you come across. So what would be the first case? The first case is GitHub is your remote, wherein there are two commits, commit 1, commit 2, and your local also has commit 1, commit 2. What do we understand with this is there already there has been a git pull and both are in the same lines. So in the remote, the master or the main is pointing at 2, and in the local, the local, for your local, that local master is pointing at to what is origin master. The last time you did a git pull, whatever was the master is the origin master, so everything are in line. This is the initial stage. Next what would happen is some changes happened in the remote, that is checking 3 and 4 happen, I mean the commits. So now what changed? Nothing changed in the local because we have not touched anything. The only thing is someone has committed the code and pushed the code to GitHub, and so if you notice, the master of the remote will move to 4. Okay. Next, what happens when we do git fetch from our local at this point? The two changes would come down and your origin master will be updated, but your local master remains the same. So anything you progress would be at from this point, not from this point. Okay, if you uh, have done only git fetch and you continue working, this is what that will happen. Next, after git fetch, you would say git merge, right? So what happens at git merge? Nothing but there would be a merge in the code and your master moves here. This is so sweet and direct, right? This is the just the fast forward case. What is the fast forward case? The case wherein the change is only on one side, either on the remote side or on the local side. There's no possibility of conflicts, right? There's no way the git would be confused. So this is the best case, the basic case. Now we'll go to the next case where there is a possibility of git not knowing what to do. Now this is our situation initially. We have commits 1, commits 2, wherein the git pull was done and hence the origin master was here. But your colleague has committed 3 and 4 on and pushed it into the remote, and that's why the master is here. Your local, you have done some changes, okay? After there was a git pull, and after that you had done some change, and that's why your local master is here. Now what happens at this point if you say git fetch origin? nothing but the 3 and 4, similar like our first basic case, gets downloaded and the origin master points there. Now after the fetch, what do you say? What would you do? You would say a merge, right? Or you can say fetch plus merge, or directly say git pull. If it is git pull, you directly come to this situation here. Otherwise, it's after you put a git merge is when you come to this situation. Now what happens here? There are two kinds of cases. One is there could be a three-way merge. If the files you both have worked are different, it's gonna be a three-way merge. Smooth, just go ahead and an extra commit will be created by Git and the merge will happen. What if you both worked on the same file? Now there's a conflict. Okay, so when there's a conflict, then you will have to fix the conflict, right? There's another case. Now you say you don't want a three-way merge, you want a rebase. So when you are merging, you can give that particular command that no, I don't want a three-way merge, I want a rebase. Okay, so while there is a git fetch plus merge or a git pull, there are three situations. That is, either you go for a three-way merge, there could be a conflict, or you can go with the rebase. Okay, now when there is git pull, which is gonna do that two commands in one point, why are you using fetch even, right? That question would have come to your mind. This is because you don't know what change your colleague would have done. Is it on the same file, right? That is a, before you hit a conflict, you would like to just check. So just want to look at into the progress of other branch where others are working. Okay, and when you want to control the next steps, meaning uh, you don't want, you would have defaulted to three-way merge, but you don't want a three-way merge, you want to do a rebase, or based on what you have seen at the git fetch level, you want to decide whether you want to do a three-way merge or you want to rebase. That is why you usually people go for first git fetch, they check what are the changes, and then they go for git merge. Now there are cases with people, the simple cases where there's small teams and there's no much complication. You could use different git pull flavors. Now what are these git pull flavors? The green would be the changes in your remote and blue would be changes in your local. This is the past situation, I mean before the changes were done. That's the history. So it's a, when you say git pull fast forward only, what would happen is, if it is a case of fast forward only, then the merge would be successfully done. Okay, else it would stop at that point. When you say git pull dash dash ff, it's kind of, you're saying ff optional. Only if it is a fast forward, it would definitely do that. But if it is not a fast forward, it's a three-way merge, it will ask you to add a message. Okay, it will open your code editor or a Vim, and you will have to write the message. The third case is when you know you want a rebase. Okay, so what you do is git pull rebase, and at this point what happens? The rebase happens. Yeah, there's possibility of conflict if you all have worked on the same file, but we know how to work on the conflicts. We have already covered this before. Now that we have understood the concepts, let's move into doing practicals. Okay, so what we will do is, let me open my git bash, and this is my local git folder, like demo git, which is having one file, and let me show you the remote repo. This is my remote repo, and that's git practice, which is having that file. As of now, both are having same number of commits. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me just add a different, I'm not going to edit the existing file. What I will do is, I will just add an external file over here to show that there is a change in the remote. Now as you see, we have an extra file one here, but our local doesn't have it. Okay, so I'm just going to verify by using the git log. Yeah, this is showing that we had one already, which we had the first file. and you see that our origin main is here, and which is pointing to that change, and the head main is here. Okay, next we will move to git pull. With git pull, you would notice that there has been one file change is being shown, that is this file 1 edition. It is showing the difference. A fast forward happened and the changes are already there, it's already merged, auto merged, since I did a git pull. So now what I will do, I'll add another file. So you see now the remote is having this extra file too. Let's see, here we are not having that file too. Okay, so next time I will make sure I am not putting git pull, but I'm putting git fetch. Oh, let's check the log first. Okay, no trace of file 2. Now git fetch. Ooh, what happened? The fast forward merge didn't happen. As you notice, fast forward merge has not happened. So let's just go and check the logs now. Now you see the change in the logs, right? The head is still pointing to the position of where we were, that is with the file 1, but it is telling the origin main has moved to file 2, isn't it? So I'll be merging now. Git. And as you see, there was a fast forward merge wherein the file 2 has come up, right? Okay, and let's just check the log now, and yay, our head main has moved. So this is how we have done two cases, fast forward merge. One is with the pull, and second time with the fetch and the merge. We also, in this case, wherein the changes were in the remote. Okay, next we would go for a three-way merge. Okay, let me add file 3 now. So I have done the file 3. I've added the file 3 just now. Let's verify that the local doesn't have it. No, it doesn't have. It has file 1 and it has file 2. Okay, I created one more file here called file local. So what is the situation? We have file local, which is extra in our local. We have file 3, which is extra in our remote. So let's go ahead and say, first we'll check our logs as usual. Why are we not seeing the file local? Because we have not committed it. We did commit file 3 in GitHub. So let's just commit it. Dot git commit. And it should not be added. It should be a command, right? Add. Yeah. So let me just commit this change. Change is committed. Now let's check our logs. Like you see, now a third file changes are noticed. Okay, so our head has moved ahead. Origin main is still behind, because the last time we did the git pull, this was where the main was for the remote. Yeah, now what we'll be doing is we'll do a git fetch. So do you want to check the log again? So what happened? So this is our local change, right? And you can see there is a split, and now because we say git fetch, the file 3 that we added in the remote is also listed here, and origin main has moved there, and you can see the split now, right? Now we will do a git merge. and it is opening an editor so that I can write a comment. It's given me a default comment, so I will not bother to change it as of now. Let it be. And then the merge has completed successfully, right? Yeah. Now let's check our logs. Ooh, the two branches that were split at the previous point. So let me just expand this. If you see, there was a split at this point, and this has, we have an extra commit and it has merged, right? Basically a three-way merge has happened, correct? Now we will go for the conflict case. So what I will do is I will change the same file in the remote as well as in the local. So let me quickly do that. I'll say file1. This is a remote change. I'm saving it. Let me go to the remote, file1, and let me edit here. So the change is not that you're always doing on the remote, okay? It also means that someone else is writing the code and put their changes over here, okay? So I just don't want to complicate things by logging in again as someone else and sending here. So whenever I change in remote, it means that someone else is pushing that changes into the remote, okay? This is the change in remote, that is GitHub here. So let me commit the change, and then I'm not going to dive into writing all this now because our focus is to check this particular case. So I have done the change here, but I have not I had committed in the remote, now I have not committed in the local. So let me say git add git commit -m. Okay, commit done. So let me check the log now. If you compare the log for the previous one, the last commit was 3D over here, after which it has seen in my current, just now what I have committed, that change. Basically it only knows the change that I did in the local. It's still not aware of the change that I did in the remote. So let's go ahead and say git fetch, and it says that there is a change, a minor change. So let's go ahead and bravely say git merge. Why I said bravely? Because we know we are going to get a conflict. We created it, right? So there's a conflict here. So what do we do during the conflict? Multiple things you could do. Either you can revert back, or just go open the file which is having an issue and sort it. So this is, it mentioned the merge conflict is in file1. So let me open the, you can always open from the from the git bash, but generally that's not practical. What you would do is you'll probably open it in VSC. Okay, okay, I have opened the VSC. The issue we have is with file1. So as we open, you can see these are the extra indications that Git adds to let us know where the issue is, right? So this is one change. This is what I mentioned. I have written the text wrong. Okay, this is the local, whatever we change. So head is where your local, right? And this is what is the incoming change, that is from the GitHub, and this is the separator. So you can, whenever if you are using a Vim, then you have to manually remove all these extras. But if you are using tools like VSE, it is a very easy thing. If I say accept current change, it should keep this. Accept incoming, it would pick this. We have done this handling of conflicts in detail before while we were doing branching, so I'll not go into detail. I'll just say accept both the changes. It accepted both the changes, and I will just save it. And once that is done, I just want to see the log. This is how the log is looking as of now. Since we did the merging, we will quickly add and commit and feature 1 and feature 2. Okay, you should be very particular while writing your messages. Anyone reading your messages should know what has happened. Okay, so the commit is done. Just let me check the git status. There's nothing to commit, so just check our logs. Okay, perfect. And as you see, with the commit we have merged the changes, right? See, the past case was like this, but with our merge changes and we adding and committing it, we are back to a single point. Okay, this is how you work. So what are the cases we have done? We have done a fast forward with the remote branch and local branch. We have done three-way merge, and we have also seen conflicts. Okay, as of rebase, since I have not covered rebase already, I will cover it while doing the taking up the rebase topic. Okay, next is best practices. Always start with the latest version. How do you do that? Every time git fetch and git pull, only then work on the on your code. Next is avoid clubbing changes. That is, if there is issue 1, issue 3, and maybe use case 1 given to you, better do it separately, right? Because one, when if you have to debug, it's gonna be easy. If you have to revert, it's gonna be easy. So never try clubbing the changes. Separate fixes with the each functionality. As soon as you're done with enough good chunk of work and you receive the approval, just merge it with the master, because more conflicts means you spend more time fixing them. Okay, um, always keep a release branch to avoid relying on the master branch. So not everyone follows all rules. You will always find someone um, who would have done it by mistake, some by habit, and you would have have some situations like that. So always better to keep a branch called release branch, wherein you having the latest code that is in production, and also putting rules that no one can merge into this branch. Okay, so that's it I had to cover for today. Quite a lengthy topic, but I think it was lengthy because we covered many cases, use cases. um, that's all I had. If you have any issues, please let me know. Thank you.